Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the 7th Esports World Championship here, coming to you live from Seoul, South Korea. My name is Reed Rapid Melton, and joining me is Marika Aki Kennard. I practiced that like so many times. South African words not really coming to me quite as naturally, but she does play support for the South African national team. Has been joining me here on the desk to add some insight to the games. What did you think of game number 1?
Well, we're about to go into game 2. Fix and vans, but game number 1 was a complete whitewash. It was China destroying Switzerland completely. It was very one-sided. I'm expecting Switzerland to put up a bit more of a fight this game, unless they tilt a bit. But let's hope that does not happen.
Comebacks always possible in a best of 3, so we've got game number 2 picks and bans coming your way here in just a moment.
And of course, we see the Gangplank and the Sin Man first.
No questions about the Gangplank ban, just incredibly strong pick for Even. And Even has emerged as one of the strongest players for the Vici Gaming Academy, Chinese representative team there. But Switzerland, they're swapping over to the blue side. Of course, China there on the right, and going to be seeing a Rise ban there as well. It's nice to see the realization. Even, he's probably going to need a little bit more pressure to be put on during the ban phase.
Are we going to see a Hecarim ban, or are they going to let this through? If I was in Switzerland's shoes, I would pick it and not give it to them again.
Now, an interesting position to be here now in the first pick, because you have the ability to grab like the first very strong champion, but sometimes what the red side can do is to leave multiple OP champions up and try to get at least what they consider to be the strongest, get as many of those champions as possible. So you'll see a blue side Dr. Mundo ban. That's traditionally not what you see. Dr. Mundo is extremely strong on this patch, and oftentimes the champion that you actually see left for a red side ban because it's so first pickable. Now, we saw a tendency for both sides to pick support champions early. For Vici Gaming Academy, they were actually going to pick, they picked Alistar first. And we saw a Tom Kench pick. We thought it was going to be support. Switzerland did not work out, so not banned this game. Probably not going to see it, but what do you think is most likely here for the Swiss team?
Well, they're definitely not going to first pick Tom again. I think they learned their lesson for this, but a power pick, I really want them to take Hecarim away from China if they can play. Oh.
Excuse me? You want to go back through those predictions?
I don't believe this is the best decision here. We saw what it didn't do last game.
Now, this might be a flex pick for a support Tom Kench here, so they might be saying, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, if it is broke, you probably need to fix that one out there. So maybe rotating that down into a support role, but it might just be a very strong power pick that they see left up. But on Vici Gaming Academy's side, China going to go ahead and lock in the same idea that they had in game number 1, grabbing Alistar early and then getting a Tristana along there for Avenger.
I think I understand why they took Tom. I just think they're scared of China's Tom. It might just be way better than they can handle.
Well, they definitely don't want to leave it up here, but we might see a very different strategy emerge here for Switzerland. Now, I was talking to them over the course of the group stages. They weren't able to find a whole lot of information about some of the teams that they had played, so they decided, hey, we're just going to play our very hardest versus every team and know that if we win a game, we won it because we tried our best. If we lost, we still had that experience. But in talking to them, didn't experience too many roadblocks here. In fact, arrived here at the semifinals undefeated. But after a defeat there, facing off against China, they definitely have to adjust themselves just a little bit. So here we go, a Caitlyn picked up along with a Janna there. A very strong combo there, but it does, like we see as we go over to Vici Gaming, leave up some very strong power picks. Get a little deja vu here.
This was not a smart decision. I mean, you can see they don't have any faith in themselves to choose something like Hecarim or Elise, because they want this. China wants these picks, and they already picked a support and AD carry. You might as well just take a few power picks away.
Well, the Lee Sin is a big power pick for Koala with a hat. I was actually talking to him earlier, and he said that every few months, every few weeks, he'll actually change the name for his hat. It used to be koala con sombrero, but decided to go back to English for this tournament. I can appreciate that. There's the power pick there for Lagali in his Anivia, but what's going to come out here in the jungle? Possibly a Kindred, one of the strongest junglers available on this patch.
I don't see why they're taking the same team comp, or not the same, but at least for mid lane. You can see Anivia's probably going to do a bit better against another mid laner. Rise was the problem here, but Tom top again.
Now, Vici Gaming Academy saving the mid lane pick for last. Thinking about the Echo, even did play Echo earlier on, but it looked pretty shaky. It was versus the Russian, or it was versus Eka, yeah, being played a little bit earlier on in the group stages. We got or not group stages, but in the quarterfinals, we got a chance to see that. Not nearly as strong as some of his carry champions, but with Rise and Gangplank banned out, extra pressure put onto Even, and it is going to send him most likely onto this Echo. Seen him play it before. It's still very, very strong, but not nearly on the level of his Gangplank or Rise.
My worry is this Kindred pick. Is he going to be strong enough for Koala with a hat? Is he going to be able to carry this through for them? Mid lane should be able to be dealt with Anivia. I mean, Rise is the only true counter to Anivia.
Well, definitely going to freeze the mid lane as much as possible, continue to push it. Not necessarily sure. Oh, take Twisted Fate. All right. If there is a region that is associated with a champion, mostly Twisted Fate, a very strong hallmark of Chinese League of Legends for a very long time. If you guys have watched any Chinese League of Legends, most likely 3-4 years ago, Twisted Fate, an incredibly strong power pick there, going back even as far as Messiah. A lot of pressure that you can put on with that global or semi-global ultimate, and then you've always got Teleport to add a lot to that. Teleport Twisted Fates mean that you look where the dual lane is on the map, and then you just gank it over and over and over again for a very big enjoy there for the dual lane that has to deal with that. So we got our champions locked in for both sides. You had to pick one team just based on the power picks. What do you think's going on, Marcus?
I know exactly what's going on. It's going to China. Nothing, or not nothing, but only a little bit has changed for Switzerland in the team comp. It's not strong enough to deal with a Twisted Fate. I mean, they have double TP, triple TP if you think about Twisted Fates also.
We'll have to see if that confidence pays off here. Let's go ahead and get it a game. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to game number 2 of our first semi-final match here at the 7th Esports World Championship, Seoul, South Korea. We've got Switzerland swapping over to the blue side, China there in the red coming out of base.
And
Gonna
with
go for that
exactly
same
this thing.
strategy. They do
Fantastic.
this every single game, and some of the times they've changed it up and walked down mid lane for a jungle invade or through their jungle. But these last few games, they've just walked straight down the lane very, very quickly. But already you can see a tri-rush ward placed out there by Wild Joshi. Very, very good reaction, good response to a very common strategy here for Vici Gaming.
And they're smart to move back, because we saw what happened to Tom last game. Getting caught, dying instantly, and then having a 3v5.
Walking around the corner. They think they're sneaky, but Tri-Brush never very guaranteed invade because the opposing team can get there more quickly than you can. Just going to look for some lane swap wards put down, so you'll see Teacher split off here in just a second, and look to put one of those between the turrets. Actually, no, they're going to let Destron do that, so able to get that ward down to scout out the lane swap, but wisely enough, and this is actually really smart from the Swiss team, they've actually set their duo lane ahead to the turret and haven't been scouted out by that lane swap ward. However, Koala with a hat, not quite so lucky.
Lee does not expect this. It was so smart from Alistar just to run in and ward the red.
Even walking forward there through the brush. We'll see Yama. Gold cards coming out. That's going to be a stun. The rocket jump on in. Slow onto Yama. There's a flash. There's the headbutt, or the pulverized rather. And Yama, no way to get out of this one. That's the Thunderlord's Decree. He's going to get first blood for Avenger.
Deja vu.
Well, not quite. They didn't give up all the kills there, only one, but the kill went on to a very, very strong member of the team, Avengers Tristana. I'm pretty sure he always starts with rocket jump because he's always going in. He's got his boy band strategy there. You only move in one direction.
Things looking pretty standard from Twisted Fate and Anivia. Oh, and we see Teacher getting a lot of pressure again early game. He did this the previous time before.
Okay, Smite to secure the blue buff there. Teacher in a little bit of a dangerous spot, but he knows he's got the rest of his team to back him up. Blue buff, a lot of harassment going down there, but man, look at Laggly putting the damage right back onto Even.
And we see China moving into their jungle again, exactly like last game, and Switzerland does not know how to answer to this.
Maybe a possible weakness there towards the grand finals if you continue to execute the same strategy over and over again. By this time, teams watching China play will have, come up with possibly some counters here. We already see Switzerland reacting maybe a little bit better to what China's opening gambit. But at least so far, I don't think anything's gone too awry there of Vici Gaming Academy without really any disadvantage in any lane. If you look at Tom Kench right now, Yama has 0 CS and 1 death. That is not quite the way you want to start this game.
And this time, they're pushing down top tower fast. I'm expecting Switzerland to answer. Yes, Tom Ken is moving bot, but Red will have this. China will definitely have this.
This is a little bit more standard strategy. If you've been watching League of Legends over the past couple of, past year, past season, then the 4v0, pretty common when you see 0 champions in the enemy lane. You just rotate through the enemy jungle, or in the case there of the Swiss team, just right up the lane. That's actually not going to be a 4v0, but we'll be able to take the turret down pretty quickly. I guess it actually is there. Turret going down there. China looking to take down even more as they continue their push there. A little bit slower on that turret takedown for Switzerland.
That's what you get if you have a bit faster reaction speed and Tristana. A deadly combination.
Well, it's a very common place to be here for China. They're used to being in the driver's seat there. NRF not used to taking turret shots right there, but with a decent mini waves here still built up. This is actually a little bit similar to what we saw in game number 1, where Switzerland was ahead on their turret pushing, and then China had to recall to stop them from taking second tier turret. Exactly the same thing in reverse there coming out here in game 2.
And it gave Swiss at least a little bit of gold, but it's now giving China gold, and that's one thing you don't want to give China.
Oh, definitely not after a dominant performance like we saw in game number 1. Destron going to grab a Scuttle Crab for an early gold boost on his way out of the jungle, and it'll be interesting to see if, as Wolf continues to mark these jungle camps, if Koala with a hat will be able to go grab that really quickly. It is sitting on a ward, so either that's a ward or it was a Scuttle Crab that was killed there, and I'm going to guess that that was what it was. Sometimes you ward the Scuttle Crab mark on the map and it looks exactly the same as if it's been killed, but can't really tell that right now. Yama in a very, very difficult spot there, just gonna get jumped on, and this is going to be, oh my gosh, that damage. Avenger coming in with the second kill of the game.
Already has a BF sword at 5 minutes. Sounds like Avenger to me.
Whenever I play my League of Legends games, I like to start off with a BF sword first at 5 minutes. It's a pretty standard build. No, I'm just kidding. It's pretty strong there. 2 kills already early on, an Avenger putting in work. Not really willing to ban out the Tristana or even just take it away. It is a Tristana, or it's a champion that Pride can play, so I'm not sure why they were giving it away quite with such eagerness. You do need to first pick champions, but even you mentioned, Marika, that maybe not a great opportunity to pick Tom Kench twice in a row.
And Tom Kench teleporting bot alone against 2 people with a team with 2 teleports.
I wonder what Teacher's gonna do here. There's a headbutt, there's a pulverize, gray health coming in, but will this actually be enough to save his life? He's actually gonna go walk towards the other side of the turret. He's got a very long distance left to travel. Slows coming backwards. The minions are gonna be doing some work here. Yama trying to walk backwards. In the meantime, we've got Pride picking up kills in the top half of the map. What's going on there? Bottom lane, the Great Escape. Probably not gonna happen there as Yama goes down. Avenger on a killing spree. He's actually gotten all 3 of those kills off of Yama too, so
at least his value is going to decrease very soon, so he can just try, keep pushing, and
that is very true. And when you are on a killing spree and you die, a little bit of that love gets shared between the rest of the team, so you want to make sure that you play it maybe a little bit more carefully. For Avenger, maybe that's a little bit too much to ask because he's been very, very aggressive. But hey, an early kill picked up Switzerland off of a little bit of a lackluster defense of that top outer turret by Vici Gaming. Here comes the first Twisted Fate teleport of the game. Slow, not a stun there on a Koala with that. Gonna turn things around there. A lot of damage down onto NRF. Running back away. Here comes even locking a gold this time.
Koala doing a lot of damage in that fight. But if Hecarim was level 6, that could have been devastating. We'll see the next fight.
Not sure what I think about this jungle potion. Not sure if you have an opinion on this, Raika, but potions in the jungle, they refill if you kill a large jungle camp. So you're going to have that persistence sustain over the course of your jungle path, but really an interesting choice to go here for because it's also going to delay that warrior enchantment from Kindred.
Yes, if you don't have a self-sustaining jungler, you are going to struggle. You definitely, I wouldn't say need a potion on the jungler, but some of them won't be able to get past without
it. The thing about Kindred, like she is a self-sustaining jungler. She does get sustained literally for walking around, able to get that passive to stack up. And
maybe it's for the lane push as well, because Kindred has to gank quite often or be in lane quite often just to get pressure out.
Anything is possible when you believe, right? So maybe he believes in the potion. Gonna go back into the jungle, grab himself a grab. Laggily wants this blue buff, but he has no mana, so he's actually gonna have to wait for Koala to go off the gromp and come over here to give it.
Oh, they're rotating
meantime,
down
yeah, Dragon, it's a pretty good camp to take. It's not even a camp. Well, maybe it is to China as they've locked down a lot of Dragons over the course of this series. Game 2, not going to take the Dragon, but nice job by Destron to consistently deny these Scuttle Crabs from Kindred, preventing them from getting all those stacks.
I'm surprised to see that they did not go for the Dragon, but they don't have vision deep. But they don't have vision on the top lane either. And they are in a position to fight this 4v5 at the moment, I believe.
Would have been a little bit early. Sometimes you take a little bit too much damage from Dragon, and that can turn things a little bit sour. So for Vici Gaming Academy, just going for a little bit of a safer route. Not going to start that one up quite this early, but already an interesting rotation made here, Marika, because for Vici Gaming, we've got the rotation down towards the bottom of the map from Even as a mid laner, with the duo sent mid lane to push that maybe a little bit more quickly. Really interesting adaptation to going up against an Anivia that fast pushes. So for Even down here, you can see Pride waiting there, stalking the bushes. Gig is up.
Very scared. I'd be scared of that Twisted Fate as well. We can see Tristana is going for that IE, the old school build. First, almost there.
Right, now good reaction here for Vici Gaming Academy representing China to say, hey, we can't push into this Anivia, so we're going to run down to the Dragon, draw that mid lane out. There's no minions around the Dragon, right? So we can see maybe a little bit less effectiveness there from Anivia. Teleport coming in here for Switzerland, and it will force Vici to back off that Dragon.
And they're going for the Dragon. Will China turn this?
Nice wall, maybe a little bit early, but wow, wall and go, and that is a really beautifully executed strategy there with Koala with a hat able to take down the first Dragon of the game for Switzerland.
They did have the level advantage on the top laners, so I believe that's the only reason China did not contest that.
Walking right through a pink ward. Okay, Koala and I think it was Wild Josh that noticed that, took it out, now going for the push up here. Tristana does have some decent wave clear with explosive shots, but some damage being put down nonetheless. One trap, and two traps, and three traps. Teacher walking over those just to deny them out there, and for the first time this game, Koala might get a Scuttle Crab. He's been denied the first two, will secure one. That's going to be a good mark for him.
I hope Anivia can push this out for Switzerland's sake, because
the flash, the knockup, the kill on the Laggily. He's got that egg, but it's not going to be alive for very much longer. And RF able to go in for another engage. Immediate exhaust, but maybe a little bit premature. Should be able to defend this turret. Switzerland able to at least push China back, but at what cost? Really losing their primary wave clear.
China is not capitalizing as much as I thought on this. I had the impression that they would just try to push it down instantly.
Well, especially after killing off Anivia, there's always a good opportunity to push after that. Now, a good wave clear, at least secondarily there from Pride, able to make sure that they're able to still get the clear off that they need. But man, Even is just split pushing like a monster. It goes mid lane, helps the team fight there. Goes bottom lane, split pushing that out there. Going to get a ton of extra gold off of stacking that deck in his favor. But Avenger should be able to wave clear this effectively. But man, look at these huge waves that China is soaking up off the side lane.
I'm expecting a Hecarim teleport from back, or just a fast run, but there's a ward right behind Switzerland, or a few actually.
Right,
But I
important to
think they're aware.
notice that you don't want to get flanked on when you're pushing up. You want to make sure to clear those wards out. Now, bottom half of the map, this is actually going to be one of the, I think, the second stack for Koala with a hat, as good early game control by Destron on those Scuttle Crabs, but 2 in a row picked up there by Koala, going to be dealing extra percentage max health damage in every auto. And there's the double. It's like, all right, careful. And then he sticks the landing on the other side. 10 out of 10 there. He's going to take down Gromp and continue to push that one out. Should be going for a Warrior enchant, but actually no, did decide that he wanted to combine a Sightstone in on that jungle item. Very supportive Kindred build here. So he's going to get a Sightstone, build that into his item, get a potion early on, and buy a lot of non-damaging items. But finally, there is the Warrior enchant to get some damage on him there.
They don't have any other damages. I mean, Caitlyn is miles behind Tristana at this stage. Tristana already has a IE, building towards some attack speed. So Kindred being supportive here might cost them a bit, especially in teamfight, damage-wise.
Well, finally with a damage item, I'm gonna stop buying these things like Sightstone, things like the potion, go for some actual damage. But I think the big thing to watch out for in these next few fights is gonna be Lagali's positioning. He is on the comfortiest of comfort champions, at least for him. He's great at Nivea player, exceptional play over the course of the group stages, and really one of the reasons that Switzerland were undefeated up until this point in the tournament. VG Gaming Academy there, China on top of the Rift Herald. Here comes in a Twisted Fate ultimate. Where is it gonna go? Rift Herald resetting, and oh man, just pulling it just barely out of that pit.
That was a misbait. Twisted Fate was way too far from them, but they just wanted to create the impression that Twisted Fate was on the way to secure that Rift Herald.
Jumping forward, big rotation there, Teacher walking forward, but he's actually pretty low. There's a wall, it's a good wall, and it does lock Teacher out of his escape route. Turns out he's got another one as he just walks back away around the edge, but these walls are actually going to start to get pretty scary as they push forward, even taking a little bit of damage. The Ace on the ult does go through, even down to half HP.
Caitlyn is tickling with her ult, not doing any proper damage to Twisted Fate yet, but he is backing out. This could provide them with the opportunity to push out and... or not.
And if you're actually trying to group the wave up maybe just a little bit, able to just get that wave clear over and over again. One thing for me is that I don't see China reacting very well to, they continue to group up around this mid lane right into an Anivia, and Lagali is able to get a lot of extra bonus time for his team by just stalling them out over and over again. Now, I mean, Dragon's up in a minute, so that will be something that will force Switzerland away from staying in the mid lane and just wave clearing that, but see how well they react to it.
But do you really want to give bonus time against a team like China? I mean, you have Tristana, Hecarim, Twisted Fate. They are scaling extremely well.
I mean, if you give too much time away, both teams are going to be allowed to get to late game. But yeah, like you said, Marika, when you get to late game, it doesn't get much scarier than Tristana, than crazy engages by Hecarim, like you've seen NRF able to accomplish there with that onslaught of shadows. And VG continuing to focus this mid lane, and with a recall there on Lagali, might not be able to continue with that wave clear, but nice backup. The rest of the Swiss team able to come up there and keep that lane alive.
China feels confident enough to push out the side lanes while bot lane is handling all the pressure mid.
Rod of Ages, Twisted Fate being picked up there. I know a lot of disagreement there. Usually high CDR builds favored on Twisted Fate, and especially with Ionia Boots of Lucidity now only giving 10% cooldown reduction. Not as much as you used to see there. It used to be that you'd see Home Guard Ionian Boots of Lucidity on top of a Morellonomicon for an incredible amount of CDR early for just as many ults as possible. But to be fair, the Ionian Boots of Lucidity do now reduce Summoner Spell times as well, so that's it's definitely going to allow for more teleports from Even if he wants to use that way to get around that.
But he has not teleported in this time, has he?
Right, I think we saw maybe one from NRF, if I'm not mistaken. I think I am, so but still waiting on those top laners to teleport. Here comes, I guess, a pseudo teleport from Yama as he's going to ult towards that mid lane. A little knock up onto Destron, but he'll be able to clear that out in the Pixel Brush, setting up for a dragon.
The first dragon did go to Switzerland, but China would not let the second one go. Not without a fight, at least.
The new ammo system on Caitlyn's trap allowing her to drop a lot in quick succession. There we go. Talking, very difficult. Been doing a lot of it today. So here we go. Up the mid lane once again and back away from it, but this time it's actually Switzerland able to dictate what they want to go for. Setting up for the dragon, starting up down to half HP. Will he be able to take? Yep, smote away. Nice tornado to knock Even back away. But here comes NRF in for the flank. Nice disengage from the Mon Super Teacher. Going in, it's going to headbutt immediately, Laggly right into the team. He's taking a lot of damage there. Is he going to get locked up? And going down, Laggly there with a kill. Beautiful positioning there by the Swiss team as they take the dragon and a kill along with it.
That was beautiful from Laggly. His positioning was amazing. His damage output. No, this is Anivia. This is the Anivia we did not see last game.
A perfect control. Dragon number 1 taken by Switzerland as they were able to wall Vici Gaming Academy out over that narrow gap. But wait, what? Hello? Okay, Avenger, going for the good old jump in, flash out engages. I don't know about that one, but effective nonetheless at blowing a flash, even if it was his own. Push up the mid lane now. No Anivia there, but a teleport coming in will usher Switzerland back away as China groups back up there around the mid lane. So much focus, and these turrets are still alive. So not sure if that's necessarily where you want to be cramming a bunch of your time, but we'll see if this wave clear after wave clear continues to draw this game later on. Maybe that's the plan China's holding out for.
Well, you have Twisted Fate and Anivia both clearing waves at rapid pace. So I don't think mid lane will be pushed for too much longer. Hecarim has been putting a lot of pressure on the side lanes, though. He's been pushing top quite far before that TP, of course.
I do approve of things being done at a rapid pace. Pretty big fan of that. Even pretty big fan of roaming down to the bottom lane for some wave clear. He's done this, I think, 3 or 4 times already this game. Tons of CS coming in there, as you can just see him racking it up. Already about a 25 CS advantage over his lane opponent. 15 CS advantage over his lane opponent. Gotta get some extra math done there. But NRF also content to farm these side lanes and continue to grab that CS draw later and later on, looking for that Trinity Force power spike. Whereas for Even, questioning his second item here, I'm guessing he's looking towards a Lich Bane, but Yama gonna go ahead and spit NRF backwards. He's just looking to run back away, but Yama actually on top of that matchup.
I feel sorry for Koala in this case because he's such a great ganker, but the way China just plays around it. Ooh, and they're getting in the tower.
Hey, surprises do happen. Miracles happen when you believe. And there's Yama actually TPing bottom to save that turret, stop the Twisted Fate Twisted Fate split push with that teleport.
Hecarim pushing top like always, and Switzerland has nothing to contest it with.
They're going to send Caitlyn up there, actually pretty vulnerable to Hecarim usually. However, with very low mana there for NRF, I'm not sure if he necessarily is going to be able to go for this all in. And, oh, nice crit there by Pride. And to be fair, look at these items starting to be developed for the Swiss team. Pride has secured himself those 2 kills, really crucial to see him able to achieve parity with Avenger, who's been so strong for China, and grab really those 2 huge items for Caitlyn. If he goes on into even more damage after that, able to complete those boots, and Pride could be a really big source of strength to sort of rally the Swiss squad, maybe look to tie up the score in this series.
Switzerland is definitely not out of this. The first game they looked a lot of shaky. But this game, no. This is the Switzerland I played against. This is the Switzerland I wanted to see.
When you're in your experience playing against Switzerland, what were some of the hallmarks that you were able to determine about the team? Any particular strengths that you saw coming out?
We didn't ban Lee Sin, and
Okay.
Koala got Lee Sin.
Okay,
I
well,
believe that was the main event.
well, over the quarterfinals, when you forget to ban Gangplank versus Even, that's where you see a lot of strength there. Locking down Laggily, no wave clear when you're dead. Egg coming out, there's the Monsoon for the heal, teleporting in, and oh man, the Kindred Synergy, able to save the Egg. There's the revives, Laggily coming back into the fight. Teacher is gonna get Eden thrown backwards, no more Unbreakable Will, he's gonna go down, but with a last second headbutt, there comes NRF. He is back to the back line, able to get a kill on there onto Wild Joshi. Avenger though going down, and the Chinese squad lose their very strong AD carry. Yama in a difficult spot, he's gonna go down. There's well Even walking forward, and looks like an R more than you'd believe. Walking forward, able to lock things down there with a gold card, and finally secure that mid lane kill for the Chinese squad.
I would say that was a misplay from Switzerland, but Teacher was just amazing there. He just
Laggily walking too far forward, gets run over, and as surprising as it was to see both Avicii Gaming Academy's carries die there, walking forward a little bit too much costs Laggily his life again. But still, 6-9 the score here at 23 minutes. Much more even game than in game one.
But China is pulling ahead now. That gold lead is growing, and we've seen China with a gold lead.
And that's not the only thing growing. When you look at these kill scores, you've got 3 kills on the AD carry, 2 on the mid laner, and just really starting to stack this one up. Also, NRF able to get those huge engages off. And this is going to be very, very scary. Laggily, though, to be fair, has been playing that mid lane Anivia impeccably. Great zone control, really good counter engage, and able to use that wall when T-shirt goes in to really lock him away from the rest of the team. And now, Koala with a hat off to the side, needs to go ahead and get away from here. We got Twisted Fate with a possible gold card up on in there, Even. Another kill. Now, coming up the mid lane, Switzerland trying to find an opportunity that Even actually never wound up ulting there. He's just in the right place already. It's back to the mid lane just to get out of the enemy jungle.
This is another free mid tower. China, or not free, well, not with Laggily, of course. You might be able to put a lot of pressure.
Yama maybe in a little bit of trouble here. Dice Caitlyn traps to lock that down, but there's NRF with another big engage. Yama right over the wall. Teacher forced the ultimate. Now, traditionally, Teacher's ult had not saved him a whole lot, but this one will allow him to get out of there alive. Retreating back away, there's Ace in the hole, blocked by the Rod of Ages mid laner there. So, NRF, these huge engages, so effective. That time, no kills picked up off of it, but it might have just been putting on enough pressure to back off and secure this dragon. But Switzerland, they've been the ones on top of the dragon. Anytime you have an Anivia, a lot of great opportunities to go for this control. Yama walking forward, that is not what you want to do. Forced to use that coin to disengage.
Will this be the third dragon for China? Oh, Switzerland.
Kindred super strong at doing these. Kifu will hit. There's a tongue coming out. Yama in a little bit of a rough spot. Very low health on Wild Joshi as well. Laggily pretty low there too. Turning that background, so much damage put down onto Even. He is one hit away from death. Forced to back away.
Caitlyn's positioning. I mean, Pride is just a monster on her. But
Pride super strong. Koala with a hat, very strong there as well. And that dragon just disappears. One of the biggest strengths that we've seen from Switzerland is that dragon control. Koala with a hat, not on his signature Lee Sin, but still able to really have a big impression on this game, controlling that dragon objective.
the score might not be impressive, but his actions are.
You can see the observers there pointing out the 0 dragons for the Chinese team, trying to prioritize these big team fights because that's what their team comp is meant to do with NRF. The idea is that, hey, Anivia wants to stay back, wants to wave clear, and Hecarim prevents that with the ability to flank and engage there with Onslaught of Shadows. But the way that Laggily has been playing this, he actually hangs a little bit further back, waits for the engage, and then throws down the wall to lock in Teacher, or throws down the wall to lock out Avenger like that, forces the rocket jump away. Who's going to get it? Blue buff! Going over to Koala with a hat and a blue buff.
But it's the Knight from Anivia, which is what they wanted.
That's true. I mean, it feels good to fight that one away and secure it for your team, but no blue buff on Anivia does mean that mana may be a little bit more of a limiting resource, considering there isn't a Tear of the Goddess. She's just going to have that flat mana. from Rod of Ages.
Moving bot lane? Oh, big wave for Hecarim.
Yeah, I was going to say, one thing that China has done incredibly consistently is realize, hey, switch bottom lanes, there's another big wave down there, let's move over, take it out, and that is kind of a reaction to this new 5.23 patch to say, look, waves are going to push, so we need to go ahead, lock down tons of extra gold there, and they have very consistently. However, push up the mid lane here could be a little bit of a rough spot there. Yama getting locked down, Cocoon to come out, nope. Saved for just a second longer. Nice wall there. Teacher forced to go in. Will throw out an unbreakable will. Maybe a little bit ahead of schedule. Ignite down on to Laggily. Twisted Fate teleporting off to the side there. Will stun off Yama lol. But Nick is actually out of the fight there. Nice Kindred ultimate. But nobody actually really saved by that. Heals coming in there. A lot of damage. Laggily dead in the back line. Will going to egg form, but not for long. There's 1 kill. There's 2 kill. There's 3, 4, 5. It's a double for Hecarim and an ace for BG Academy.
Laggily getting caught. This changed it all for Switzerland now. Are we seeing a 2-0?
Well, we're certainly going to see a dead inhibitor here, right? Because now
They
possibly a
might get
push
it
in 20-second death timers. This could actually be the end of game number 2. I'm not sure what Janet's going to do to stop this. Some nice tornadoes, but one Nexus turret down, second Nexus turret to follow, and this is going to be a Nexus kill and a 2-0 for BG Gaming Academy representing China.
A very convincing win for China. This was a beautiful game, beautiful plays, but Switzerland put up a good fight.
Definitely nothing to be ashamed there in game number 2. Congratulations to China. They will take down a second win and advance on to the grand finals tomorrow. China, incredibly strong this tournament, have not dropped a game. Continue to look strong heading on into the finals. And that's going to do it for this game. Now that does mean that we are setting up for a Chinese finals coming up tomorrow. But first, we do have to check out exactly the status of the tournament and find out exactly what the finals will be looking for here in a little bit. So let's go ahead and head out to a little bit of a break. But thanks for watching the 7th Esports World Championship here at IESF.